What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to Feeki Flips, the most dumbed down real estate channel on all of YouTube, because if I can make money doing this, then so can you. We are back. It's been another week, and another week where I didn't film a fucking thing for the vlog. So we're going to do an educational video today. It's about 5 p.m. on Saturday, and I figured it'd be pretty relevant to do a video on dispoing all of your wholesale deals, since a lot of people are 100% wholesale right now and not really flipping because of what's going on in the real estate market. So I'm going to go over a few tips and tricks that we have been using over the last 6 or 8 months to try to max out the wholesale fee on every single deal that we do, and some stuff that we have found that makes it a lot easier to sell your wholesale deals. But first, everyone's been wondering the update on Coco. Still a slug. All right, so I am going to sit right here. We'll switch over to the computer real quick, and then I will take you guys through exactly step by step how we dispo all of the wholesale deals, and I will even give you the secret weapon towards the end of the video. But first, I know we'll get some shit talked about this. This is our cold calling setup that we've been using. Me and Wes been sitting here last week doing some cold calls. So that is our ghetto sound divider that doesn't fucking work at all, but it is taped to the desk. So shout out to Wes for doing that. All right, let's hop into it. All right, guys, I figure we might as well run the cold calling headset since it's already hooked up to the computer. So hopefully it sounds all right. But I do want to start this video by stressing that what I'm about to show you guys is not necessary to wholesale deals. And that's one thing that I hate and that I see a lot with new people, that they get really caught up in the details and trying to figure out every little which thing before they do a deal. All of this shit is not necessary. This stuff is necessary to try to maximize your fee on each deal. But if you guys have never done deals before, or you've only done a couple, really just getting those deals done is far, far more important than everything I'm about to show you. Now, this stuff is how we get a far bigger fee on each deal than just like doing the deals. But please take all this with a grain of salt. Don't get caught up with like you have to have this same exact setup and you have to do all of these steps just to get started or just to do a deal. It's not necessary. Go out there, get a contract. You only need one good buyer to do your first wholesale deal. You don't need an entire list of 300 people or all these tools and shit. Just go do it. Okay, first, so real quick, if you guys don't know what wholesaling is, it is basically just the buy side of a transaction. So you would go direct to seller usually. So you're going to go meet with the homeowner. You get a property under contract to purchase for a discount, and then you're essentially going to sell that contract. For example, if you went out, you met with a homeowner, and they're willing to take $200,000 for their property, you put it under contract for 200, and then say a flipper or a rental guy or what have you, maybe it's still a deal to them at 210,000. So basically you're going to sell that contract to them for $10,000. The flipper brings 210 to close, seller gets the 200 that you guys agreed on, and you as the wholesaler make 10,000 in between. So that's what we're talking about here. So the disposition side of the transaction is what we're going over in this video, and that's the selling of the contract. The acquisition side, whole nother thing. So once you do have a contract, it's like, hey, how do I sell this thing? So before the market shifted, our business model was basically like 90% fix and flip and 10% wholesale. We really didn't wholesale all that much. We just flipped. And when I did wholesale deals, I would just do kind of the homey deals. Like I would just take it to a couple of buyers in town that I've worked with a ton, done a ton of deals with them, which is really easy to wholesale deals like that. But you leave a lot of money on the table when you do that. So when we switched to 100% wholesale overnight, we really had no systems or processes in place to do any of this the right way. So to kind of band-aid that at first, we bought this platform that's called Investor Lift. That's what you guys are looking at right here. It's fairly expensive. It's like $5,000 for the year, $5,800 for the year, something like that. So if you're not doing a bunch of wholesale deals, it's probably not worth the cost for you. But if you are doing a bunch of deals, I highly recommend it. I really like it as a tool. So I'll just click into one of these deals here. So real quick, I'll just show you guys what it looks like from the buyer's point of view. We view the deal here. So when your buyers are looking at the deal, this is the platform that they see. So they just get a link to this, and you can see here that it's really like a nice looking page for the buyers to see here. It has all of the information needed about the deal. It's got, all of the price, all of the property info. You can set this stuff up to say whatever you want. So all the relevant information of the deal is really in one spot without having to like create a marketing package. So you can see we got all the photos in here and all this stuff. But if you don't have any tools, systems, processes, anything like that in place, InvestorLift makes it really easy because it is an email blast tool and a text blast tool. So on the back end where I just was, that's what this is here. So every time we get a new deal, we're going to go ahead and upload all of that information here about the deal. So this is what the email comes through to the buyers as. So they're going to get everything you guys just saw actually in an email. And then we have all of the information about the pricing and all that other stuff up here as well. And then so you're going to add all of your photos. You can add videos, comps, anything you want. It's really just like kind of a dispo platform in a box. And then obviously you can do all of this without InvestorLift. You can upload all of your photos to a Google Drive link for free. You can upload videos to YouTube, which is actually what you do here. I put this video on YouTube, but then you just throw it in InvestorLift, so it just consolidates everything. But again, you can create like a marketing flyer. You can send out emails with a free blast tool and whatnot. So you don't have to pay $5,000 a year to do this, but it does make it really easy to just kind of hit the fast forward button to get your deals marketed. So to start going through some key points that may help you guys sell your deals that we use, I mean, first and foremost, like your numbers have to be right. Like if your numbers are wrong, like it's just not a deal. You're not going to be able to sell something that's not a deal. So like put all the fucking tools and tips and tricks and all that shit aside. That's what I tell everyone that I'm trying to help out that's brand new. Like your numbers have to be right. So your after repair value, your ARV that you're advertising to the buyers, your rehab costs, you don't have to advertise a rehab cost to someone because everyone's rehab costs are going to be the same. But when you're out getting a contract, you need to be at least in range on your rehab. You need to know the difference between a $20,000 rehab and a $40,000 rehab. And same goes for your ARV. And then, the deal, the marketing the deal at a decent price. So that's first and foremost, because if you have a deal, you will definitely be able to sell it. Really, that's the number one reason why you can't sell your deals is because they are not deals to your buyers. So that's what I'm saying. Later on, it becomes very important to have like a robust buyers list and have all different types of buyers on it, flippers, rental guys, and then there's like different types of each of those people. You might have hedge funds, you might have like mom and pop type flippers that might do the work themselves. You have guys that flip at scale. Everyone runs their numbers a little bit different. So it's important because a deal that might not be a great deal to one buyer may be a great deal to another buyer. But at first, if you are accurate on your after repair value and you are somewhat accurate on your rehab number and you're using just the basic wholesale formula, ARV times 0.75 minus repairs minus your wholesale fee equals your max allowable offer, then if you contract it at that price, you should be able to sell the deal. Now you can see very easily if you are off on your ARV by 10% too high and you're underestimating your rehab by $20,000, all of a sudden, even if you get the contract at that price might be off by 40,000 bucks. It's just not a deal. And that's really the reason why you can't sell it. Now, other than that, when you do market the deal, first and foremost, photos. Super, super important. I can't tell you how many deals I've gotten through my email from a wholesaler that have like 6 photos of the house. And for me as a buyer, like how the fuck am I supposed to even make any type of educated guess where we can buy this property based off of 6 photos? And that's the thing that drives buyers up the wall about wholesalers. One, they don't know their numbers. I don't talk too much shit about this because I started out wholesaling just like you guys. So I didn't know shit when I first started. Most people that wholesale, unless they're doing it at scale, they're like getting into real estate. They just don't know much. So you don't know what you don't know, but they don't know their numbers. And then they are, marketing a property with 6 photos. And it's like, if you've ever attempted to flip a house, like there's no way that you can do a good job of estimating rehab off of 6 photos. So you can see here, I don't know how many we have, but we usually shoot for like 150 photos. That might be overkill, but more is better than less, because if I was a buyer, I would want to see every square inch of this home so I can figure out if this is even in range for being a deal or not. So what you're seeing right now is all the photos of this house, and there's a lot of them. So you can see that when this gets sent out to the buyers, this is much better than the same deal going out with the same numbers with 6 photos, right? Okay, second, after photos, videos. Not quite as important as photos, but helpful, because depending on how you take your photos. Okay, let's rewind back to photos real quick too. Okay, if you guys are using an iPhone or fucking Android or whatever, put the shit on wide, the lens, if you have it, because you can see way more. So let's try to take some good photos too, because the whole point of taking the photos is so we can see the condition. So if we put the lens on wide, you're going to be able to see more of the house. If you got some light going on, they're going to be better photos. We don't need to have professional photos here, but we need to advertise the condition to your prospective buyers. So for videos, videos are going to show what you can't see in photos, which is usually like how the floor plan flows and stuff like that. So the video is actually very helpful for buyers as well. Not quite as important as photos, but very nice to get a deal through your email from a wholesaler that has a walkthrough video, because as a buyer, when you are underwriting, you can just watch the video, make sure that it's not some weird funky layout. You can get a good idea of estimating rehab from all the photos. Much easier to run your numbers and then let the wholesaler know kind of where you're at, or if you want to look at it, etc. All right, guys, I'm going to pull out the secret weapon a little bit earlier than expected in the video since it's relevant. Here it is, a cheap ass tripod, and this camera here. This is a 360 camera. Let me open it up real quick. Nothing special here. These things are a couple $100, nothing crazy. This is not like super high tech equipment. This is like bottom of the barrel fucking 360 camera, okay? But I'll fix all this later. But secret weapon, and oh, the slug has awakened. Hey, mama. What you doing, creature? Doing nothing. So secret weapon, because I don't know why, but no one uses this, even though there is a spot for the specific purpose in Investor Lift. But I have never seen, at least in our area where I'm on buyers lists for people, I've never really seen anyone use this trick. So I'm going to switch back to the screen recording real quick and I'll show you guys how sick this is. Side note, while I get this opened up, I noticed the TV just shut off because I had Supercross paused. And I don't know if any of you guys watch Supercross or use Peacock, the NBC app, but Peacock, I'm going to say it here, Peacock fucking sucks. And I know that where I had it paused will no longer be paused when I wake up the TV. And I'm going to have to wait until the race is over and then wait another 2 hours to when they post the replay to hit play again. So fucking annoying, but first world problems. Okay, so with that 3D camera, okay, you can use this software called Matterport. So this is the part where, like, you know, Investor Lift will cost you money. The Matterport subscription will cost you money. The 3D camera will cost you money. So if you are doing a lot of deals and making money through wholesaling, these are investments that will allow you to make even more money later on. Just something to think about for when you guys get to that level if you're not there already. So Matterport, they make some like super, super expensive shit that I've seen that's like $4,000 or something. It's not necessary. I don't know what that does that our setup doesn't, but our setup is just that pretty inexpensive $300, 3D camera with the Matterport software, which is like $50 a month or something, or maybe even less, but you get more spaces if you pay more. So what you do when you're out there, so say you lock up the deal, you get a bunch of photos when you're on the appointment, you get the walkthrough videos, day one of due diligence, we want to go and shoot a Matterport, or I guess you could do it at the appointment if the seller's cool with it, but look at this shit, okay? So with this camera, basically every circle you see here is where there was a photo taken, okay? So you put it on the tripod and then you can actually zoom around the house. So there was, a photo taken here, a photo taken here, a photo taken here. You guys get the idea. So this is like the photos and videos on steroids, because your prospective buyers can literally sit here and like look around the house like they were there and check out the condition, check out how the floor plan flows, all that stuff. So this is a super cool tool that we get a lot of compliments on from buyers because they have never seen anyone use it before, especially in the world of wholesaling, and everyone is really appreciative of it. It's pretty cool. All right, so if we go back to our deal page, this is basically what is being sent out to the buyers. So you got all the photos in here, and then, you can add your comps in here, you put your closing date, all that stuff. And now we deleted this off of our Matterport subscription, so it's not here. But the Matterport is integrated with Investor Lift, so they can literally look at it right here. They don't even have to go to the Matterport site or whatnot. Same with the video thing. They can get the Google Street View, all this stuff. It just makes a really, really nice package for the buyers to be able to underwrite the deal as soon as they get it through their email. All right, and honestly, what I'm about to tell you is more of a secret weapon than the Matterport, so this is the secret weapon, I guess. So just to recap what we've gone over, your numbers are correct. You have a ton of photos, you have videos, and you have the Matterport. That's all being sent out to your buyers. That's a great comprehensive package that everyone is going to be really, really appreciative of when they get deals from you. They will want to work with you versus all the other wholesalers in the world that are sending out a one-page thing with 3 photos. Numbers are fucking wrong. It's just annoying, okay? Trust me when I say that, because like I said, I am an actual buyer as well, not just a wholesaler. So take my word for it, do what we do, and you will be much more successful. Now, that being said, the secret weapon here. So, okay, next thing that we do that also costs a little bit of money, but really, really helps drive your assignment fee is that we do get a home inspection on almost every deal that we do. Some of them are, it's not really even relevant to get a home inspection just because of the type of inventory that it is. But if it's just a standard wholesale deal that we're doing, we'll try to get a home inspection on like day 1 or 2 of escrow, like right away. So we have reached out to a couple different home inspection companies in the markets that we're in, and we get like an investor home inspection, which basically covers all of the major ticket items, the big ticket items, and it doesn't call out every single little cosmetic thing that a full home inspection would. And then they charge us about $250 instead of like $400 or $500 for a home inspection. So it is a real home inspection here. So you can see like here's a house, and then the home inspector goes through and it's got everything on here, exterior, interior, his opinions on stuff. It's an actual home inspection from a licensed home inspector that covers all of the things that any of your prospective buyers would want to know about. Let's recap real quick. You can see here that if we have a deal get sent out to the buyers that has accurate numbers, tons of photos, walkthrough video, Matterport, and a home inspection, like how easy is it for your buyers to make a decision if this is a deal for them or not, or if they want to come look at it? How much more traction are you going to get on your deals versus the wholesaler that just blasts out his deal? The fucking numbers are wrong. It's got 5 photos and the dude doesn't even know what he's doing. Like, it's a no-brainer from the eyes of a buyer. And you know what? Even more of a secret weapon than the Matterport and doing this on the fly as usual, no, it's off the cuff. So I'm glad this came up much later in the video so I can stay true to my promise at the beginning that the secret weapon is towards the end if you're still watching. So I found out about this because a few weeks ago I was doing some think time and I was really just thinking about all of the deals that we have done in like the last 8 months since we switched just to 100% wholesale. And what I was doing was I was really trying to figure out for marketing for 2023 on like having a better avatar or like a target demographic. I was thinking like, of all the deals that we've done since June, of those deals, some of them have been really fucking hard to get to the finish line. Some of them have fallen apart completely. Some of them were really easy to get to the finish line where you're just like get paid and you're like, yes, that is how it should go every single time. So I was trying to find a common denominator for those deals on like what made those ones so much easier than the rest. And I was looking on the side of the seller, like, what were the characteristics of the seller or characteristics of the home or something like that, just so we can just target those people or just those properties. And, I was kind of expecting to find out like, oh, well, every single deal that we did that was vacant was super easy because it was easy access for our buyers throughout escrow or whatnot. And that's not really what I found. We had deals that were easy that were vacant. We had them that were owner occupied. We had double wides that were easy. We had single families that were easy. They were kind of all over the place. And then sellers too, all over the place. But one thing that I did notice was just action that I took as the dispo manager on like following our process to a T. I kind of went over this on one of the episodes of the Eating Shit podcast, if you guys have been following that every week. But what I found was that every deal that we did that was easy, we had a lot of interest in it. And we had a lot of buyers at the open house at the same time. So let me touch on open houses real quick. But first, I know what some of you guys are thinking. You say, oh, yeah, that's all well and good. New wholesalers are the worst for the yeah, but mentality. It's like, yeah, I get it, but this doesn't work. Yeah, I get it, but I can't do it this way. So I know some of you are thinking, yeah, but I don't have buyers to go to the open house. So let's touch on that real quick. All right, you guys. So seriously, like this shit is so easy now with some of these softwares. Like I'm on Batch. If you guys don't have a Batch subscription, it's like $100 a month. That's a great tool if you are actively doing deals or trying to do deals. Down in the description, there is an affiliate code. I don't fucking sell anything, but I'd appreciate it if you guys do want to sign up for Batch or whatever. Use my affiliate code so we can at least get that. Literally, they have a filter on here that says cash buyers. So like, type in your location, whatever county you're in, and then look, number of properties owned. So you can see like people that have, 20 rentals or whatnot, owner type, like you can just pull a list of cash buyers like immediately. And then also for the, yeah, but I don't want to spend $100 a month. Okay. So go to Zillow. Okay. This shit is not rocket science. I just typed in Montgomery, Alabama, up to 250,000. I'm just looking at active listings here and like, just look for shit that's a flip. I haven't even looked at this. I'm looking at this live with you guys, but okay, let's check out this one. Okay. Why did I click on this? Because it's fucking gray. All the flippers paint their shit gray. Okay. So we're looking at here. Does this look like a flip to you guys? We have a brand new kitchen, LVP flooring, and it's painted white on the inside. It's probably a flip. Okay. Let's go down to the price history here. Okay. This sold 2 years ago and now it's being listed. Is that a flip? Maybe, maybe not, but probably. So now we can click on county website here. Sometimes, depending on the county website, the Zillow does not like to link to it, but every single county in the nation has an assessor website where you can type in, I don't even know what this county is called, but you can type in Alabama County Assessor and you can look up who owns property. Okay. Whoever the vested owner is, there's your cash buyer. So you can just scroll down here, like anything that looks like a flip that we would want to look at, or even, if you like, the phone number of the listing agent is on here. So I'll go back to this one here. Look at, flatfee.com. Of course, this one doesn't have a fucking listing agent number, but most of them do. I'll just go up to this one right here. So this Dana Sykes, okay? And depending on, like, if you look in Florida, they have their phone numbers right here on Zillow, but agent phone numbers are super easy to find because they want people to call them. So if I just Googled, Dana Sykes Remax Cornerstone, you can find her number, call her up, be like, hey, I saw your listing on 519 Curlin. Is your client interested in buying any more flips? She'd be like, yeah, because she's going to get paid. Okay. So now you can just go through the agent to get more buyers like that. Like, this shit is not that hard to do. So when people that I talk to, like through the local meetup or whatnot, like they're all worried about finding buyers and shit, I'm like, dude, that's literally like the easiest part of this whole process. You guys need to focus on getting more deals. I just want to find one more flip. This might be one here. I don't know yet. Yeah, that looks like some flipper shit to me. White kitchen with the granite countertop, but I wanted to find one here so I can show you guys real quick on Zillow. So this one, okay, is probably a flip because it sold in May of 2022 for 58 grand, and now it's listed for 145 a few months later. So again, this is probably a flipper. Go on the assessor website, and if you have Batch pulls all of the county assessor sites nationwide. So you could type in that address here. I'll just do it for you guys since we are recording. Okay, 366 Wilmington, real quick. 3668 Wilmington, Montgomery, Alabama. Okay, let's go search. Click here, click details. Okay, so here is your owner right here, SFR3. That sounds like a fund to me because they always have that type of LLC name, mailing address, all this stuff. So again, sometimes these are going to be like owner is fucking Alex Fico and it has the mailing address. It can still be a flipper. There's a lot of mom and pop flippers out there that flip in their names. It's not even an entity. So they're super easy to find. Skip trace phone number. You can do it right here in Batch for 15 cents. Call them up, say, hey, are you still buying deals? I got one right down the street from your shit on Wilmington. And they'll be like, yeah, put me on your list. Cool. Super easy to build a buyer's list. Now that everyone has spent the last 3 minutes learning how to build a buyer's list, now we can talk about open houses. So that's what I was saying, is that every single deal that we did that was easy in the last 8 months, I had a lot of interest at the open house. And I think it was like a psychological thing. You can see here that Investor Lift even has like an open house feature so you can schedule it through the platform. I never have used that, but what I'll do is basically everything that we've talked about in this video happens. I blast out the deal using the Investor Lift platform, which does the email and the texts to your entire buyers list that you can have like geotag. So if people want to buy deals in Northern Nevada, I'm not sending those to people that want to buy deals in Alabama. It's just like the relevant. So the buyers are only getting relevant deals to their email. That's how it's supposed to work. So that shit goes out. They get an email, they get a text. Cool. That is not enough to sell your deals anymore. That used to be enough when the market was super hot. The secret weapon is to call your buyers list one by one. Get on the phones. That's why we have these headsets. Every time we get a deal, that's what I'm doing. I'm calling my VIP list. If you're brand new, you don't have a VIP list, you just have a list. So like our list for Northern Nevada is like 400 people, okay? And like our VIP list, probably like 50 people, something like that. And these are people that I have either done deals with, they are actively buying, both, anything like that. So those guys are getting calls from me directly. And all I'm saying is like, hey, so-and-so, did you see that deal I just sent out? And they're like, oh no, like send it to me. Sometimes the shit doesn't work, like, it goes to spam, whatever. So I'm emailing them directly. And all this is doing, one, you're building the relationship with the buyer, and two, you're drumming up more and more interest because now, since you have personally sent them that deal, they feel more obligated to get back to you about it. But again, that's not enough. I call all these people, I send out the deal, and then I will follow up with them the next day to make sure that they looked at it. These people are busy, so you have to, and a lot of them, like the mom and pop buyers, are not hungry to buy deals either. They're not like chomping at the bit to like underwrite it, get back to you. So I'll follow up with them to try to get their offer. And I'll drop that right after we talk about the open houses, why that is. So by doing this, now anyone that wants to get access, a few days later, we will host the open house. So this makes it really easy on the seller, which is a huge positive. You always want to make it as easy as possible for your sellers throughout this whole transaction, because that's why they signed the contract with you, because you promised them the easy button for the real estate transaction. So if we only need to get access one time throughout all of escrow, you get the house vacant, send them on lunch for 2 hours, and then we're going to have all of our buyers, partners, whoever come through at during those 2 hours. Seller loves it because they don't want to be opening up their house a million times while you figure this shit out over the next 3 weeks. And then for the buyers, this is the psychological trick. In those 2 hours, they'll come walk the property, but they see another buyer there, and then they see 3 or 4 buyers there. And even if they don't really want the deal, well, not if they don't want it, but I guess like they're just more likely to get an offer to you or maybe tighten it up just because they see other people are interested in it. If you're the only one interested in something, think about if you were like trying to buy a car or something, and you go and the salesperson was like, yeah man, this thing's been sitting here for 6 months, like begging you to buy it. Okay, like how motivated are you to move right then and pull out your credit card? Like you're not. But if there's someone else looking at the car at you at the same time, and you know that he wants it and you want it too, like you're going to probably pay a little bit more, or at least be motivated to act right then. So it's like an urgency thing that you can kind of indirectly put on the buyers. I didn't realize that's what we were doing, but every deal that we've done that was easy, it had a really good and successful open house where I got a lot of people to show up, and then I also got them to produce an offer for us. Now, the last nugget that I'm going to give you guys has to do with getting the offer from your buyers. This has been key for us quite a few times, and this helps you in many ways because people, like, you advertise a deal for a certain amount. And if the buyer is like 20K under your number, they almost don't want to make you an offer because they think that they're not going to get it, or like, I don't know if they don't want to offend me or what's going on, but I'll always like make it no big deal for them if they're like, oh man, like, yeah, I don't think it's a fit, blah, blah, blah. I'll make them give me their number because everyone has a number where the deal makes sense for them. It might be way off, and like, I don't fucking care. It's just an offer. Like, it's not, if you, that's another fucking pet peeve of mine for wholesalers. Like, some of them, I don't know what their deal is. Like, obviously they want to get paid, but because they've never done deals or like flipped before, they get so butthurt sometimes. And I'm answering my own question here. So that's why the buyers don't want to give them offers. I've given offers to people. I'll be like, hey man, thanks for sending this over. Like, this is kind of what I saw. I'll explain my numbers, probably too much, but I'll be like, so that being said, we would need it for this number, and that's like our max offer. And they'll get mad. They'll get mad at me. I've had people like that have literally never done a fucking deal before be like, they'll text me back and be like, LOL, I'll let you know when I have something in your price range and shit like that. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. So those are people that get blacklisted from our wholesaler list. They just don't know it. But yeah, I don't care where anyone's numbers come in. I just want to know where the buyers are buying at, because it helps you, one, on the acquisition side, because now you can do a better job next time knowing where your buyers buy at. Because if you're consistently locking up deals for too much, like obviously you need to be underwriting deeper to actually lock something up that is a deal. So when you get it, you can sell it. So it's like, duh, you should want to know where these guys are buying at. And two, this is how I get people to give me the numbers when they don't want to. I'm like, hey, sometimes, we have to go back to the seller and renegotiate to make this work for all parties. The people that give me their number, those are the people that I'm going to go back to before the renegotiation. So say we market a deal, say we're just way wrong on the numbers for whatever reason, and every single person's number is, 20K underneath our contract price, not even where we're marketing. Okay. So we're going to have to get a big price reduction to make that work, make the deal work. So if we're putting out a deal, say 220, say we have it contracted for 220, we're marketing it for 240, and I got 5 offers from legitimate buyers all around 200. Like, okay, we were definitely wrong, or the buyers are seeing something that we didn't see or whatnot. So now we would have to go back to the seller and say, 190, get a price reduction to 190 to be able to wholesale it to one of these buyers. If I didn't follow up with the buyers to know that they're all at 200, they're just like pass, 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 pass. How are we supposed to renegotiate with seller? What are we going to do? We're going to fucking renegotiate to what? Like, you can't do it. So what we do is follow up with the buyers, get their number. And even though they're underneath where you're marketing it at, if that does happen, they still might be the highest offer. And then in that case, obviously you're going to go to the highest offer, make sure that they're still good to go before you go do the price reduction and try to make this work. And then with the seller, either they can say, yeah, that still works, let's do it, or they can say, fuck off and cancel the deal. So that's another tip for you guys where you can still save these deals by doing like one extra step. You can see how like weird, the more work you put in, the more successful you are. If you put in a bunch of work on the front end and have an awesome marketing package for your deals, you're going to get way more buyers interested in it. If you take it another step and call the VIP list, you're going to have way more buyers interested in it. If you take another step and schedule them all at the same time, you're going to have way more interest in it and get more offers. And then if you take another step and you follow up with those buyers that did show some interest, then you're going to be able to get the offers from them. And if you need to renegotiate, at least you have several offers on the deal and you'll be able to still put something together if the seller's cool with it. All right, guys, that about wraps it up for this video. Hopefully those tips will allow you to do a couple more wholesale deals this year, and the ones that you do will get higher assignment fees. So thanks for watching. Make sure to smash that like button. Helps out the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new here, and we will see you on the next episode. Still slugging.